I'm Evan Smith, and welcome to my final video essay on Netflix original Black Mirror. For this final video essay, I will be focusing on the episode Nosedive. I will be discussing how likely the future scenario of this episode is. The first scene of the show shows Lacey going on her morning jog, which she can't even do without the worry of being judged or scored. The very next scene brings Lacey to a local outdoorsy restaurant. Everyone around her seems to be so engaged in their phone and scoring other people that there is no actual conversations going on. To me, this whole ranking system has just messed up everyday social interactions between people. At the restaurant, they show the waiter Jack behind the counter. After watching how the beginning of the episode started off, I couldn't help but wonder if Jack has the job he has only because of the ranking that he currently holds, or if he could have been working somewhere else if his score was different. Personally, this was the cringiest scene of the whole episode. The first interaction with Bethany in the elevator appeared so fake and awkward due to the feeling of having to have a perfect conversation and getting a perfect score. Every interaction that Lacey has with Bethany gets more and more awkward as the episode goes on and is unrealistic. I don't know, anyone could live with having to act like that. Honestly, all I can say for this portion of the episode is poor Chester. He and his boyfriend broke up, lowering Chester's score to a 3.1, and everyone in the office has turned their back on him, which lowers his score even more. If Chester's score reaches below a 2.5, he will be fired, and this doesn't seem right that his bosses would fire him based on his personality and dating life rather than his performance.
You know our Prime Influencers program? Do I qualify for that? No, you don't. We'd need you around a 4.5. 4.5. Hit 4.5 and there's a 20% discount.
The previous scene shown seems like a complete scam to me. This whole hit 4.5 and there's a 20% discount just seems like a complete marketing scam and an attempt to keep individuals that don't have a perfect personality from living there.
Conversations, remember?
My charger.
This whole ranking thing, just comparing yourself to people
Have you seen my charger?
who pretend to be happy.
Good. Don't borrow this.
Hi, I'm coming. Hi. Oh, Jesus Christ! Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's great. Just great.
The fact that Tamara had the audacity to give Lacey a super low score on the spot only because she accidentally ran into her and made her spill her coffee just shows how bad having a ranking system can be and how it can turn on you because of the smallest mistakes.
It's gone.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll see you in a few hours. I'm getting hungry tomorrow. And here's your tip. Thank you.
This specific scene demonstrates the only reason that I think this lifestyle is relevant and possible compared to today's society, and that is because, according to this article, How Bad Uber Driver Ratings Affect Drivers by Marissa Miller, which discusses the relationship between ratings of Uber drivers, which can already be done, and how it affects them in their social life.
I booked this weeks ago. It's my best friend's wedding.
I'm sorry.
I have to get there. I have to.
Okay, let's see what we can do.
Thank you.
I see there's one standby seat on another plane leaving tonight. That's reserved for members of our Prime Flight program. You gotta be a 4.2 or over to qualify.
Oh, I'm
This is another scene that screams marketing scam to me. The statement made by the desk clerk at the airport that you gotta be a 4.2 or over to qualify for the next earliest flight is just so unrealistic that an airline company would be able to deny you entry to their flight because of your social ranking, especially after an incident not caused by you shut down your original flight that you paid for.
great night.
It's pretty good.
So I need a car?
You got a vehicle in mind?
Anything, really.
Due to your current ranking, you're restricted to our Super Saver fleet.
Yeah.
iCruiser 2?
They still have the 2?
I'm starting to think that this whole ranking system is a way for the government to set a higher standard of behavior and social skills. Lacey is shown not being able to get a decent car based on her behavior at the airport.
Look like you need a ride.
Actually, I'm okay.
Don't look it. Come on. I don't bite.
This scene is one of my favorites of the episode. Susan, who has a ranking of 1.4, is portrayed to be mean and scary based off her ranking, but turns out to be one of the most honest and genuine people in the entire episode.
The cancer didn't give a shit. It just kept growing. A couple of months in, we heard about this experimental treatment. It was very expensive. It was very exclusive. I did everything I could to get him a spot there. Tom was a 4.3. They gave his bed to a 4.4.
The story told by Susan about her husband who passed away of cancer really put in perspective on how this episode isn't realistic. She explains that the experimental treatment was very expensive and very exclusive, and that they gave Susan's husband's treatment opportunity to someone who had a 0.1 higher of his social ranking.
Hi, Nay. So, oh my god, insane night. But I am so close now. Don't come. What? No. I'm like an hour away.
Don't come. I don't want you here.
I don't know what is up with you, but I cannot have a 2-6 at my wedding. Oh, no, that's temporary. That's temporary.
Well, the wedding's today, so...
But it doesn't change.
I don't even know what to really say about this scene except for wow. I've never seen someone so selfish that they would uninvite and try to throw out their best friend from their wedding all because they were worried about their own social ranking score.
Can everyone be quiet for a moment? Thank you.
Get rid of her.
Now, for those of you who don't know me,
This scene is actually disgusting that Naomi would be so embarrassed by Lacey just because of her score. Lacey has been Naomi's longest best friend, and to see her throw all of that away over a social ranking makes me sick. Katrina Harvey agrees in her article that social media causes mental issues, and that is shown in this scene.
look like an alcoholic former weatherman.
You sound like a lost little lamb that just got told there's no Santa Claus.
What sort of cartoon character did your mom have to fuck to brew you up in the womb?
At least I look like I was born, not shit out by some tormented cow creature in an underground lab.
You got tossed out of that lab.
Oh yeah?
Oh, yeah.
The last example that I have that shows how unlikely this scenario of social ranking is to happen in the future. This scene shows Lacey in a sort of jail that people with too low of social ranking are put into. Arresting people based on their personalities and ranking score is insane to think about, and I hope this is never reality. At that point, wouldn't people be getting arrested as a result of someone of authority's opinion? How is that fair? Again, I'm Evan Smith, and thanks for watching my final video essay on Black Mirror's Nosedive.